Hi teachers, I'm Mr. Tate, and I've been using Scholar in my 8th grade English class. Scholar is a digital learning platform that develops students' writing through a process of drafting, providing feedback to peers, receiving feedback, revising, and finally publishing their works. My school is focusing on writing across all academic content areas, so I've been working closely with the science and social studies teachers on my team. Recently, my students wrote an information report, and now Mrs. Morgan, their science teacher, is building on that by asking them to write another report, this time on habitat loss and climate change. I've suggested that she use InfoWriter, the mapping tool in Scholar where students diagram the text structure and the links between concepts and evidence. It's a great way for students to reflect on and revise their writing before they submit it for peer review.
Hi, I'm Shelby, and today I'm working on my science assignment about the American alligator. I've already written my first draft using the rubric to guide me, but before I submit for peer review, I need to finish mapping out my report in InfoWriter. I've done some work already. You can see that I have a definition and a preview, and I cover 5 main concepts: the American alligator, its appearance, its behavior, habitat loss, and climate change. I've linked each concept and provided some definitions with examples and evidence. I use the arrows to trace a thread from the concepts in the introduction to the evidence in the body and then to the conclusion. This helps me to organize my thinking and write in a logical order. In the last concept, I have a good example, but I think I could develop it with more evidence. Maybe I can find a quote or some statistics that show how much of the alligator's habitat has been taken over. I'll write myself a comment to include this when I revise my work.
InfoWriter is a powerful visual diagramming tool. It caters to diverse learners by complementing the text-based feedback and assessment rubrics elsewhere in Scholar. It addresses the Common Core state standards by organizing ideas into broad categories and developing a topic with relevant supporting evidence. It also helps students to revise their work. InfoWriter doesn't just make my students better writers, they become better thinkers. By using powerful ideas about thinking like concept, definition, and evidence, students are able to understand and explain what makes great writing. That is metacognition.
I like seeing my work visually. It helps clarify my thinking, shows me what's important for an information text, and helps me to organize my ideas. It's also a good check that I've linked my ideas to evidence.
InfoWriter has an event timeline that captures elapsed time between events and deletions when students change their mind. This records the path students take as they create their concept maps, which I can replay at any time, and gives me insight into the student's thought process. See how the bar at the top shows the order that Shelby followed as she mapped out her writing? It shows her thinking as she uses InfoWriter, and how well she understands the structure of an information report. The timeline shows me where students are confident about their writing and areas of weakness, so I can offer extra help where it's needed.
Scholar and InfoWriter are brought to you by a team of world-leading literacy educators and educational technology developers at the University of Illinois and Common Ground Publishing. Scholar and InfoWriter work on any computer with an internet connection and a recent browser. No installation needed. Scholar and InfoWriter support learners to achieve the Common Core standards and give teachers tools to transform learning in their classrooms.